Boxing King Media, powered by BYD. Ben, Shalom. Another stadium show. Well, stadium shows after stadium shows. You're not messing about, Ben.
It's hard work. You have to build them from scratch. But you know what? It takes two to tango. You need to find a club that wants to support the fighter. We did it with Bournemouth. We're doing it here. We've got it with Callum. And so, yeah, delighted. It's going to be unbelievable, honestly, going there on Saturday. The atmosphere, the festival, the plans, the entertainment, the fan zone. It's going to be really special. And a domestic world title that's a 50-50 fight between two guys that have worked hard to get to this position, worked with for a long time. It's Chris's third world title fight. It's Richard's best opportunity ever to win a world title. It's going to be a grueling fight. And after an amazing night, I think that Buatsi Chamberlain fight for me is the one as a fan I'm really looking forward to. I think that's another 50-50 fight against two guys who have proven their toughness and will come into the centre of the ring. Ben Whittaker is looking to put on a huge statement as well. Someone's arguing across us here. Yeah, Ben Whittaker, massive platform for him. I think we go on Sky Showcase at 9 o'clock. He's coming in against Ezra, who's coming to knock him out. And that's what he needs, and that's what a statement that he wants. Dan Aziz back out in South London. Probably felt that he hadn't had that world level fight, that one world level fight before Buatsi, and learned a lot in that fight. He's got huge fights to come. We're aiming for the Lyndon Arthur one after this, and yeah, honestly, it'll be a great night of boxing on Saturday.
What's the expected crowd for this Saturday?
Look, over 15,000, and so when you're thinking, could have gone to the O2, could have gone to Wembley Arena, I think we just wanted to do something different. As I say, it was Richard's dream, and sometimes in boxing, you know, there's good and bad things, and it's constant, but the best thing as a promoter on occasions is being able to change someone's life. It's being able to deliver dreams, and we did it with Chris last year. And Richard's someone that everyone knows. I've been with for a long time. He's a very close friend, and ultimately he gets an absolute dream, and it's a gift in the sense you're never going to get a better chance to win a world title than in front of your home fans at a stadium like this. So yeah, may the best man win, and Chris has been a fantastic journey, and I hope that continues as well. So it's hard for me on this one because I wish both of them could win.
You've got to give yourself some credit there, because I remember when the fight got announced at Selhurst Park, there were a lot of people frowning, saying, how are you going to sell that fight out? Because, you know, they were saying both fighters aren't big enough names. 15,000 is a lot. Not many fighters could do that.
Look, it's not a 30,000 fight. It's not a 35,000. Don't get me wrong, but I think the experience that we've had is when you go to a football club and you get the season ticket holders behind you, and they make it a celebration. This is a 100-year celebration of Selhurst Park. You usually can get the football fans in, and to be honest, there's probably going to be 40%, 50% maybe pushing Bournemouth fans as well. So when you have both football clubs working with you, that's how to really get fans really behind the fighter. You want those local support. It's very tribal, and so you'll always do more in a stadium than you probably would in an arena.
It is a brilliant event. You also announced another stadium show in Barnsley. People are always quick to give criticism if something doesn't go right or there's a certain fight on that's a stinker, but when you're putting on back-to-back stadium shows, you've announced Barnsley today, you've delivered for Callum Simpson. Quite a big statement on your part. You know, what does that mean to you as a promoter, to kind of hit back at people that are always knocking you down?
Look, all we can do is, you know, we're not Saudi. We don't have unbelievable amounts of money, and they've changed the entire landscape of the sport. All we can do is put on the biggest nights that we possibly can for our fighters in this country. Maya Jonas, Buatsi Aziz, Wardley Clark, Lauren Price won her world title. Lawrence Okoli won his world title. It's the third world title on the run with this one in a stadium. Then Callum Simpson's in his stadium. It's been a fantastic year, and it's a pleasure to see new fighters come through, new fighters headlining. I really believe in Callum. I really believe in Zach Shelley as well, and someone I've known so long, but there was no chance this could headline anywhere else other than Barnsley with the fans that he's got. And I think it's a huge opportunity for both of them. And yeah, it's good to see new headliners coming to fruition. Ben Whittaker will headline for the first time in September. Adam Azim and Eubank, that fight that should have been announced will be announced. And for me, it's about creating these new stars of the sport, you know, and that's still important. So yeah, it's been a fantastic year.
How do you see the future of a boxer as a promotion company? Like, say, fast forward a couple of years, where do you see yourself now in the mix?
Look, I think the Saudis have shown, and something that I always wanted, and it hasn't always worked out that way, is it's better when everyone works together. It really is. And people might say, oh, well, you know, you've stopped purse bids and you've stopped this, but only out of care for the fighters, because they're still in the development stages. You know, if a fighter's had 6 fights, and to throw him in, I think the Fraser Clark one springs to mind. You know, we still made that fight, and we just tried to do it at the right time because we felt a duty of care to our fighter. And we want to make the fights with other promoters. We want to be in that mix. We want to build the biggest stars, and that's what we're trying to do. And I think women's boxing's been hugely successful. And if you look at the landscape now in British boxing, I think we've got some of the biggest superstars coming through in the whole of the sport. And that's our goal. We're still a very, very young promotional company. And our fighters, we had to start our stable from scratch 2.5 years ago. So to be here, to even be able to deliver, I think people forget where we were at. To even be able to deliver a schedule like we're delivering with our own fighters now it's a dream come true, and it's unbelievable looking back. But we're still very early days, and in 2 years' time, I'm sure we'll be in a completely different position again.
2 quick questions. Are you speaking to the Saudis? Is there any involvement with Boxer and your fighters fighting on any of their shows?
Well, Martin McCauley was the first one, and I have to thank Spencer Brown, and I have to thank His Excellency, because that's a fight no one else could make. What an opportunity, and that's what they're doing, and they're making fights that otherwise wouldn't happen. September, there's been a few discussions as well. So it's glad to see that door open now. It's glad to see our opportunities coming for our fighters. Obviously, we didn't have Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, but we believe we've got the best stable coming through. And that's what's happening now, where I know for a fact they'll work with any promoter at any point. They just want the best fights. And so, yeah, it's good to now have that dialogue open, be able to put on fights, and long may it continue.
Last question for you. Anthony Yard, we've seen Eddie Hearn said recently that if he is a free agent, he wouldn't step in because of the relationship he's got with Frank Warren now. If he's a free agent, from what Yard's saying that he's free, would you make attempts to sign him and bring him to Boxer?
My relationship's with Joshua Buatsi, and he's who I need to deliver for. And I'll do whatever I have to do to deliver for Joshua Buatsi. It's been frustrating. We've been very respectful of this situation for a long time. We really wanted, and we tried everything to make the fight happen on Saturday at Selhurst Park, and it didn't happen. And so ultimately it comes down to Josh and delivering the big fights for him. And luckily he's now in a great position with different options and different opportunities. I hope to have news in the next 7 days on it. But as I say, my #1 priority has to be Joshua Buatsi. He's in the prime of his career and needs the very biggest fights.
Ben, Shalom, as always, appreciate your time, and all the best this Saturday.